Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We shall be talking about some of the veils that separate man from his creator. Now, as far as veils are concerned, these depend upon your evolution in terms of spiritual growth. If you are evolved, then there will be different veils. If you are still in the process of evolving, then there will be different veils. So, for different sets of people, there are different veils that separate man from his creator. But let us examine some of the primary veils which exist at a rather beginner's level. So let us examine those. First veil is anger. Anger exists in many disguised forms. Sometimes it is explosive, sometimes it is simmering, sometimes it is in the form of a complaint or criticism. In whatever form it exists, it carries in its folds seeds of pride, discontent, and resistance. All forms of anger should be eliminated from the system. So, this is the first way get rid of anger. Now, we move in ascending order. First of all, we remove anger, then we come on to the next stage. Once anger has left your system, then there is a certain element of sadness or grief. So, sadness is better than anger, for it carries in it the seeds of humility, and there is a certain amount of purity attached to it. However, too much of sadness may lead to intense grief, which is very debilitating. Sadness should just push you onwards so that you try to seek refuge in God's mercy. But if it is, let's say, in excess, then it generates a sense of hopelessness. So that should be avoided. Hopelessness should not be there because God says, do not despair of my mercy. So sadness should lead you towards God, but not away from God. Then the third veil is limiting beliefs. A person who has not been able to achieve much in life, then he lacks confidence, he lacks self-respect, there is self loss of self-esteem, there is hopelessness, there is miserliness. You do not think big, you think small. So all these limiting beliefs have to be eliminated one by one. Keep on doing something, engage yourself in some positive work, do some community service so that your self image is improved and you regain what you have lost. At one stage of your life, you were not lacking in confidence, nor were you lacking in self respect, nor did you have loss of self esteem. This is a lean period of your life in which you are experiencing these limiting beliefs. So you have to rid yourself of these one by one. Fourth veil is guilt. Too much of guilt also has a very exhausting effect. It drains out energy which is needed for repairing and healing. While talking about guilt, one must consider two things. Is it a guilt due to excesses, or has it been forced upon one by inconsiderate and bullying persons, mostly within and some outside the family circle? So, guilt is of two types. One which is due to your excesses and omissions in life, and that is earned guilt. And there is another form of guilt when people start pointing their fingers at you and hold you responsible for something for which you are not to be held responsible. So that is unearned guilt. Unearned guilt. Children normally fall victims of unearned guilt. And so also middle-aged people can also face unearned guilt when everyone points their finger at them and holds them responsible for some omissions or because of some other lapses in life. So guilt has to be done away with. The fifth veil is inconsistency. Consistency is very essential because without consistency, You cannot remove this veil. You have to be consistent. Lack of consistency is a serious flaw. It has to be overcome. Otherwise, movement forward would be impeded, and the result would be one step forward and two steps backward. So, this has to be done away with. Then, distractions. Distractions always take a person away from his cherished goal. The allure of the word and vain desires veil the truth from one's sight, and the result is deviation from the straight path. In this modern age, there are too many distractions, and one requires a lot of courage and determination to hold on to one's cherished goal. Then, seventh veil is character and attitude. A good character ensures that the veils are removed, and a positive attitude also ensures that veils are removed. And this is something about which a lot of work has to be done about. Attitude and character play a very vital role in leading one to ultimate success. Sometimes a single flaw in personality is responsible for one's undoing, and a flawed attitude is the biggest liability. So, two things are important. One is character, and in character, you have got to see whether one streak of a distorted concept is there in your personality or not, like jealousy, anger, pride. These are all distortions in character, or stupidity, or perverted thinking. These are all um, the side effects of a character which has yet to be evolved and developed. And in attitude, if one's attitude is wrong, then the entire edifice of growth can be completely wasted away if the attitude is wrong. So, the greatest liability in life, or the biggest liability in life, is a wrong attitude. So, one has to remove these two things also. And then we come on to disrespect. This is also a veil. Religion is all about respect, as we shall see in the next slide. There is this quote from Allama Iqbal, Bakhuda Diwana Bash Waba Muhammad Hushar. Be careless about God, but be careful about Muhammad. And then there is the saying, Adab pehla karina hai mohabbat ke karino mein, meaning thereby respect is the first step in the path of love. And the believers have been warned in the Quran not to raise their voices before the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, lest all their deeds are nullified and they remain unaware of that. Ninth veil is shadow work. Shadow work, if character and attitudes are set right, then shadow work becomes easier. Shadow is the dark and sinister archetype in humans, it is the devil component in our psyche. If we can learn to tame the animal in us, we can easily move to the divine. Then we have got to get rid of the seven deadly sins, which include lethargy, gluttony, lechery, pride, and all these things. Greed also is there. So one has to work on these things also and remove them from the system. So to conclude, time is precious. Reclaim what you have lost, repair, heal, and carry out damage control so that you remain on the straight path and are able to catch a glimpse of your goal and reach it and attain Fawzul Azim and save yourself from and your family members from Husran e Mubin. Thank you very much. God bless you.